art hangs on how the necessary elements are used. For example, an artist painting a picture needs to use paint to get an image on the canvas, but that's only a small part of it. The work of art would depend on how the paint is used, to what effect. The same holds true with the raw elements of filmmaking. The camera is necessary, lighting is necessary, and the ability to cut and splice the film is necessary. But film as art will hang on how these things are used. To what effect?
I don't have to go back, you mean?
Yes, you will have to go back. You will sail for French.
This is a scene from the 1931 production of Rain. All that was really necessary to photograph this scene was to put the camera in one position such as this. It reveals both actors, and nothing else is really needed.
Thompson, call me. I will come. At any hour of the day or night, when you need me, I will come. I shall be waiting for your call.
Mr. Davidson, wait a minute. You're right, Mr. Davidson. I am bad, but I want to be good, only I don't know how.
But the director, Louis Milestone, wanted to highlight the powerful, self-righteous character played by Walter Houston. So he chose to shoot from a low angle, forcing us to look up at him. Conversely, the uncertain, desperate character played by Joan Crawford was shot from a high angle, which forces us to continually look down on her. These camera setups not only have a psychological effect on us as we view the characters, but also tell us a little about how the characters view one another.
Innocent or guilty, you have got to serve your sentence. It's the only way you can prove you are worthy of mercy.
Innocent or guilty? What are you talking about? Where's your mercy? Oh, no. I guess that repentant stuff is off.
Was it ever on, Miss Thompson?
Whether it was or not, it's off now.
You've got to go back to San Francisco.
Straight orders from your private heaven, huh? Oh, no, Mr. Davis. Your God and me could never be shipmates. And the next time you talk to him, you can tell him this for me, that Sadie Thompson is on her way to hell.
Stop! This has gone far enough.
Oh, no, it hasn't gone far enough. You've been telling me what's wrong with me, now I'm going to tell you what's wrong with you. You keep yelling at me to be punished, to go back and suffer. How do you know what I've suffered? You don't know, you don't care, and you don't even ask, and you call yourself a Christian. Why, you're nothing but a miserable witchfinder, that's what you are. You believe in torture. You know you're big, and you know you're strong, and you have the law on your side, and the power to hang me. All right. But I've got the power to stand here and say, you hang me and be damned to you.
Justice against us.
Hey!
Here is another example of the psychological effect camera placement can have. In this scene from the 1966 production of The Pawnbroker, director Sidney Lumet wanted to impress the audience with the brutal power of three young hoodlums.
What you saying, Wilson?
How you do?
Watch the camera work. This camera angle tells us volumes about these three in a matter of seconds. Here's another example from Orson Welles' 1941 masterpiece, Citizen Kane. In this case, the camera is placed almost on the floor. The intent here is to establish a general mood. Two men in a deserted office, facing a dissolving friendship.
Hello, Jedediah.
I'm drunk.
We have spoken of the power of the close-up in film. This scene, however, derives its power from the total lack of close-ups. Welles forces us to keep our distance, just as the characters keep their distance from one another. The result is a scene that is vast, cold, and completely dispassionate.
I set back the sacred cause of reform. Is that it? All right. That's the way they want it. The people have made that choice. It's obvious the people prefer Jim Geddes to me.
You talk about the people as though you own them, so they belong to you. But as long as I can remember, you've talked about giving the people their rights. is that you can make them a present of liberty as a reward for services rendered. Remember the working man?
I'll get drunk too, Jedediah.
Just as the position of the camera has an effect on the film's meaning, so too does the movement of the camera. Obviously, when the camera moves toward a person or object, greater attention is given. Camera movement can even tell the story, extend the plot in ways far more effectively than the spoken word. By watching two scenes from the 1960 production of Psycho, you can see how producer-director Alfred Hitchcock uses the camera with simple effectiveness. In the first scene, dialogue alone gives us some exposition of the events. But in the second scene, there is no dialogue, only the camera to carry the storyline.
I don't even want it in the office over the weekend. Put it in the safe deposit box in the bank, and we'll get him to give us a check on Monday instead.
He was flirting with you. I guess he must have noticed my wedding ring.
Can't buy off unhappiness with pills. I guess I'll go put this money in the bank. Then go home and sleep it off.
The moving camera tells the audience exactly what's happening. In less than 20 seconds, Alfred Hitchcock has established the mood of a desperate woman who is about to commit a desperate act. Lighting is another element that is also necessary to filmmaking, but can also be used to great effect. A simple example of lighting might be based on the general mood of the film. The comedy might call for mostly bright lighting. A drama, on the other hand, might make use of the shadows inherent in low-key lighting. In this scene from a comedy called My Man Godfrey, we see a massive amount of light, even though the scene is supposed to take place at night. It would be hard to imagine this kind of comedy played out against realistic night lighting and all the shadows that go with it. On the other hand,